Okay.
And I believe his question was, why are there, despite all the resources in Africa, we have such poverty and so much need? And so they clearly, to me, it's a very valid question. There's an issue of distribution of wealth and conversely concentration of wealth. And it seems to me that it is not an outsider's responsibility to do that. I think he was asking that of the Africans to explain why is that the case, or he was also asking that of the international development experts. Why is that the case? And I don't think those of us on the outside, particularly the Americans, can answer that question. There are obviously related issues about education and access to health and all of those things that make people able to earn more and have more resources. But his point was that the resource is not the issue. It is the distribution of the resource. And that, of course, is a question that should be best put to the African leadership.
Sure.
Yes.
Let me pose this question to you, if I may. And please correct me if I'm wrong in my understanding. But I believe up until the 1980s, the United States was really touted for their level of education, quality of education. And somehow that kind of has teared down, whether it's due to funding or what have you. But tell me, what is the United States doing now to really improve the quality? Because that has been a key issue here, really within the United States for us.
Well, I'm not going to agree that the level of education in the United States has gotten any worse. We've just come out of a lunch, as you know, with the leading technological companies in the world, Cisco and Intel. And I think we still produce the best and most productive engineers in the world. It is the United States that has led the internet revolution, let's not forget that. And now that it's so ubiquitous across the world, it is easy for people to forget that it all started in the United States. So I don't see at all that we are having a decline in education, just like the question you asked before in terms of distribution. Yes, there are pockets within the United States where we certainly need to improve the education, but overall I think just the opposite, that our educational standards have improved and that we are still leading the rest of the world in innovation.
Very good. My final question to you, of course, on ICT and this high-level segment on education. What we're hearing from a lot of these experts and global leaders is that these are really intricate, right? There's a linkage, there's a direct linkage between higher and quality education and, of course, with the use of technology. What's your take on that?
Oh, well, that is so well demonstrated and documented, as I really can't have any other take on that, except that all of the speakers were correct. The more we invest upfront in education, the more the countries benefit because the more educated its population is. And as we have seen in the emerging economies, it is the educated population that literally lifting those countries out of poverty. And so we certainly continue to advocate for more education for all and not just for a few.